Jane Eyre is a young girl. She has no mum and dad. Her mean aunt takes care of her. The aunt doesn't like Jane. She sends her to a strict school. The school is not nice. The teachers are mean. The food is bad. Jane's friend gets sick and dies. Jane is very sad, but Jane is strong. She learns a lot. She becomes a teacher at the school. Jane wants to see more of the world. She gets a job. She goes to work for a man named Mr. Rochester. He lives in a big, spooky house. Jane takes care of a little girl there. She likes the little girl. She likes Mr. Rochester too. He's strange but kind. Mr. Rochester has a secret. Jane hears strange noises. She sees strange things. She doesn't know what's going on. Jane and Mr. Rochester spend time together. They talk a lot. They become friends. Mr. Rochester asks Jane to marry him. Jane says yes, but on the wedding day, something bad happens. A man says Mr. Rochester is already married. Mr. Rochester's wife is crazy. She's the secret in the house. Jane is shocked. She's very sad. She runs away. Jane has no money. She has no food. She sleeps outside. She's very cold and hungry. A family finds Jane. They take her in. They're very kind. Jane likes them a lot. Jane finds out she has some money. Her uncle died. He left her the money. Now Jane is rich. The family wants Jane to marry their son. He's nice, but Jane doesn't love him. Jane says no. Jane misses Mr. Rochester. She hears his voice in her head. She goes back to find him. But the big, spooky house is burned down. Mr. Rochester's crazy wife did it. She died in the fire. Mr. Rochester is hurt. He lost his hand and his eyesight, but he's still alive. Jane finds Mr. Rochester. She still loves him. He still loves her. They get married. They have a happy life together. Mr. Rochester gets some of his eyesight back. They have a baby boy. The story ends with them being happy. They love each other very much. Jane Eyre is a story about a girl who had a hard life, but she's very brave. She's very smart. She wants to be loved. She wants to be happy. She wants to do what's right. Jane doesn't give up. Even when things are really bad, even when people are really mean, Jane finds love. She finds a family. She finds a home. The story shows that life can be hard, but it also shows that life can be good. It shows that you can find happiness. You just have to be strong. You just have to keep trying. Jane Eyre is a story about hope. It's a story about love. It's a story about being yourself. It's a story that tells us that we can be like Jane. We can be brave. We can be happy. We just have to believe in ourselves. That wraps up another episode of our wonderful journey through books. We traveled page by page, chapter by chapter, discovering the magic that lies within each story. If you enjoyed this adventure and you can't wait to jump into our next book, be sure to follow us on Spotify so you never miss a story. Remember, each book opens a new world, and we're here to guide you through it, one summary at a time. We're making books simpler, easier, and more exciting just for you. Don't forget, you can share our podcast with your friends and family so they can join us on our reading adventures too. And until our next book-filled journey, keep reading, keep learning, and most importantly, keep dreaming. This is Redis, the podcast that brings books to life for everyone.